Hi everyone, thank you so much for tuning into my tarot channel today. I wanted to share a reading with you and I don't know what it's about. I have a couple images and experiences in mind. I'm using the Kim Krans deck and I'm hoping not to go over 20 minutes, but I may do so. So, my name is Paulina. I'm a psychic medium, spiritual intuitive. I'm a clairaudient, clairsentient. I think there's another Claire in there. Anyway, but there's some weird stuff going on in my brain, and I want to share it with you for your own expansion, to aid you and to aid the expansion of the universe. If you're interested in getting a reading, I do private readings via Zoom or pre-recorded. It's $45 for 45 minutes, and you just have to email me plprolets@gmail.com. You can email me one free question and I'll answer with one paragraph card and response. And then after that you'll have to send payment and we can either arrange the time for the Zoom or I'll have it sent to you within 2 days. Okay, so, and I take Cash App and PayPal. Right, so I saw an entire herd of deer today. Like, literally 20, must have been more than 20 deer. And it was like all generations of deer, like old deer, young deer, teenagers. And then in the middle there was this, like, I kid you not, like the leader, like this big huge buck with these antlers sitting in the middle of all of them in snow, and they were all grazing in this field of snow, this like sort of back, behind, tucked away from roads and everything. It was wild. I've never seen anything like it. And it just struck me that the leader was sitting in the middle of them, sitting in the snow, just like so chill. And you would think that a leader would be like stalking the perimeter, but he was just like calm in his power, that he, had control over his group. And yeah, I have some connotations for what I think that means, but I'm gonna just offer that at the beginning of the reading as an opening image for you before we start. Okay, now I know what this reading is about. Actually, this is a love reading, okay? And there's another reading that I'm going to be doing about a toxic relationship, but this is a love reading. And yeah, it's a really beautiful energy. It's very like free and accepting, and like I feel like this is somebody that knows you very well, and you are not in a relationship and you never have been, and it's like someone who is like an admirer or a fan, or like holds a torch for you. For some reason the show 6 Feet Under is coming to mind. It's like one of my favorite shows. I've seen every episode like a million times, but thinking about Nate and his running, and I think I mentioned last time that I used to be a big runner, and show is so interesting because, okay, here's how. So the deer symbolism, a lot of it is about seeing a herd of deer like that. It's really about being part of a greater community and collective, and the human tribe is how I bring it to my experience, that I'm not alone. I'm part of this human culture, community. And maybe you've felt very alone lately. And then I was gonna link it to feeling like you don't belong, and then this person made you feel like you do belong. And so there was like a sense of community with this person. even just through the two of you. And I think that I also mentioned 6 Feet Under because the family really like takes care of their own in that TV series. Like, you know, they're very like enmeshed with each other's lives, and like I think one of them, or maybe all of them, live together for a long time, or they're kind of in and out of all living at that big house where the funeral home is. And I think David stays like forever actually because he has an apartment there. But sorry, I'm obsessed with the characters. It's a great show. You should definitely check it out. It's about death, obviously, maybe not obviously, but I think that maybe you've been through an experience that was a death, like maybe not a literal death, but maybe like a death of your old self, a death of a situation, a death of a relationship, maybe not this person I'm talking about. Maybe you've had another, you know, death, and like maybe a breakup, or I'm not sure, like a split with estrangement from a group. It could be really any group also. It's made you feel disconnected. What I love about that show is that he works his whole life in a funeral parlor, and then he gets this disease. He gets told he has this like brain issue early on when he's in his 30s, very young. And he knows he's probably going to die and doesn't tell anyone for a while. But then, you know, the irony of how he's buried, he prefers to be put into like a sheet and put in a hole without like any like of the accoutrements of his career, which was like these fancy caskets and like, or cremation, and like he doesn't want any of that. He just wants to be like part of the earth. So this person, you made like a huge impact on them, and meeting you was like, it honestly like was romantic. The interactions, whatever they were, even if it was, I'm getting that it was platonic, but the interactions were like meaningful and depthful. And even just the allowance for each person to move on and not continue together was like, each person really liked that about the other. And it was like, oh, I like that this person just like let me go. There's something about called living the distance. Yeah, this person may be someone who is natural, likes crunchy kind of hippie type, likes the earth, or like, because I was talking about that character being buried in sort of a natural way. I think that I'm seeing like a lot of conflicts that happened in your past relationship, not with this person. I'm getting that you were with someone else when you knew this person and you saw them as a friend. I'm not sure if you can put together who I'm talking about, maybe not. But they like saw you struggling in this other relationship where you were not being treated right, which I told you we're going to do a reading about that relationship. They saw that, and it hurt their heart to see what you accepted. And there might have been like a scuffle here, like a mincing of sorry, not a mincing of words, like just some words back and forth. We got the Vision, we got the King reversed, we got the Venom, and the Crone. So there was like an idea here, maybe when you met, you made such an impact that this person immediately went to their control tendencies, and you didn't understand why. And there was like this sort of like, come here, go away. And you were like, why? I'm just a friendly puppy and I just want to be friends. And you didn't even see that they were thinking of these romantic things. You just thought, you you don't feel good about yourself, so you don't think that anyone would think that, like, about you, which is very effed up and sad. But that allows for you to, like, find a lot of intimacy with people when you're not assuming that they're gonna think of you that way, if you get what I mean. So I think that's what happened here. You were like, well, this person would never like me, so I'll just completely open up to them. And, like, they really liked you. They thought you were, I'm gonna go back, I'm gonna talk about those other cards. They thought you were funny, and, like, I get the crone here, meaning, like, you had, like, a really, like, sort of dark sense of humor. And I'm getting that you are a woman, and this person, I'm sorry, you are, if you're not a woman and you're watching this, then you are the more passive person and the more feminine person. So maybe if this is a woman, then they're, like, really, like, maybe they have some Aries or some fire stuff in their chart. They're, like, really intense. They're like, like, just let me have at it with life. And anyway, so I'm getting confused about who's who here, but so you, the viewer, this person admired you, and I'm getting that you're the kind of person, maybe you have PTSD and there's, like, a delay of, like, or ADHD, or, like, maybe, like, you, like, don't trust your instinct, like, you think you feel, because I get that with the crone too, and with the venom. The venom in this deck, it means what you would think it means, like snake venom and sort of nastiness, but I also get the venom as, like, taking out poison, like, because, you know, if you get bit by a snake, there's, like, a period of time you have, like, I think 5 hours to get that venom out, or you will die. I think it's less than that with some snakes, maybe an hour with, like, tropical snakes. Yeah, you may have felt herded out also, because I saw, you know, back to the deer herd that I saw, you may have felt, like, herded out of a situation, like your kind is not welcome here, which is really sad, and I'm sorry. And I think this person has experienced a similar thing in their life, like, they don't fit in, like, anywhere. This person, like, whatever, like, fights or whatever happened, they were mad for a while. Yeah, because I'm getting that there was conflict. There was conflict here. They were mad for a while, but then they were, like, thinking more of the times that they had with you, where there was a lot of laughing, a lot of, like, I'm specifically hearing just, like, jokes, the word chiste, which means jokes in Spanish. I'm hearing, like, maybe this person's bilingual, or maybe you are. Also, I'm hearing, like, this person is shy. This person is like, they come off with this, like, bravado sort of thing, but they're shy, and they you brought out a lot of confidence with your confidence, in a way. Yeah, I think that this could be a beautiful relationship, actually, and it would entail you, like, letting go of a lot of control, because this person would have to change a lot in their life, and you would too, and you would have to let go of a lot of, like, you'd have to let the rudder be steered sort of by, like, a higher force, because I just got the one. Yeah. And then this would be adding up to 3, because the 30 would be 3. Fertility, creativity. Yeah, there could be like a potential for having a child with this person. Just when I tune into the energy, it feels like there's space for repair, and there's like there's a lot of things you don't know about this person. They seem very upfront and like you know them, and really they're not, they're kind of like a straightforward person, and they're not like super complicated, but like there's things about their feelings that you don't know, but you're like, as time has passed and you've not seen them, you've been like, maybe they acted like this because of that. Like, maybe they were insecure when they said that, or maybe they did this because of that, and you're like not giving them the benefit of the doubt, but you're like seeing them as this like flawed person who you both activated each other in an interesting way. Yeah, I think I was thinking about shells today and how they're formed by like you know, sand and like basically like sand and rocks and the ocean and the pressure and like the grading over however many, I don't know how long it takes to form a shell, but I imagine it takes a while. But it has to do with the tides and with the shells and with the sand itself being graded over and over. And I think that oh, and also shells, you know, if you hold a shell up to your ear, you can hear the ocean usually. This person really listened to you and you listened to them, and that was beautiful. Yeah, I'm feeling like you thought at one point, you may have thought you had feelings, and then you were like, this is delusional, like this would never work. But I think it's real, and I think that there will be another opportunity to interact with this person when you're both in a different spiritual place, when you're both in a different essence. And I'm gonna get a final card actually, which is the Starborn. Yeah, I think that this really is about a deeper healing lesson for you to trust that like there can be good experiences, and to be less perfectionist with relationships. You know, we're all here to learn. I'm sensing that you're hesitant to enter into anything new, or to disrupt anyone else's life, or to ask them to make changes for you. But if they don't know that you would want them to make the changes, then they can't make them. Do you see? And if it doesn't, you know, end up happening ever with this person, it does exist as a parallel reality in time that, if you catch my drift, like it has existed in some other alternate reality, because there's an energetic connection and you've had past lives with this person. But I don't want you to get caught up on it. I want you to think of this as like an experience where like it's about learning that you are lovable, and that you have value, and that the person that you were with before that like mistreated you, that this person was watching you be with and being like, why? As a friend, they were like, they kind of made it clear that they did not agree with your relationship choice. And I feel like there's a lot of movie dynamics about this. It's like, where like the guy has a crush on a girl, but he's in the friend zone and she's dating some asshole, and he like tries to guide her, and then it becomes a fight because he like has feelings. It's such a trope, honestly. But the real thing is that she has feelings too, but she, in these movies, usually has like some daddy issues, or like abandonment issues, or like some self-esteem issues that keep her from And usually these women in these movies are like beautiful. Okay, one movie I'm thinking of is that movie with Amy Smart and Ryan Reynolds where he's like fat and then he loses weight and then they fall in love. But they had been friends for like 20 years or something, but she always loved him. I'm sensing a sort of dynamic like that where like I forget the name of that movie, but Just Friends, I think. Stupid. I've watched like tons of movies, but it's not like a great movie, but it's just like that dynamic of like she's like, this is you would be Amy Smart. She's kind of like pure but like ditzy, but like she has like a good heart, and she is almost, you can see, actually afraid of intimacy because probably her whole life she's sensed that this guy likes her, and so instead of going for it with him and seeing if it would work, she kept him as a close friend and ally for like as long as she could until he was like, I can't do this anymore, like I love you. And I'm also thinking of Love Actually. There's a lot of that energy in this relationship where like, okay, this is what it is. It's like the guy who comes to Keira Knightley's door and she's already gotten married to his best friend, but she says it's carolers, which I never thought was a good excuse because you can't hear anyone singing. But, or maybe he turns on a jukebox, I don't know. But like, he says in the signs like, I've always loved you, and she had already noticed that like all the video footage was of her, you know, for the wedding that the friend made, and he basically says, I love you and like I want you to be happy, and I know that you love my best friend, so I'm gonna let you go, but I just want you to know that I'm in love with you. And it's like so beautiful, and they hug, and it's like, I don't know, it's like, it's kind of like that in this relationship. And we don't know what happened later down the line with Keira Knightley and that whole dynamic, but c'est la vie. Que sera, sera. Which means that is life. What will be, will be. Anyway, thanks for tuning in, and I hope you have a great day. And also the deer represents Christ and new beginnings, and soon the deer's antlers will fall away. The deer with the antlers that I saw in the springtime, they will fall away in the summertime too. And so they're also a symbol of rebirth and renewal. So yeah, just some interesting energies, and I wouldn't get too caught up on, you know, this definitely manifesting into something, but just know that that was the true dynamic of that relationship, of that friend who was not happy with your significant other. They were secretly having like a lot of feelings of care for you that they couldn't express. And not just that, just genuine chemistry and like wanting to spend more time, and honestly that put them into fight or flight, I'm feeling. So anyway, thanks for tuning in. I hope you have a great day.